Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kyla. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you find this video helpful, give it a like. Today I'm joined by my Mojave ball python. This is Ollie. It's a nice little guy. But today I actually have a really fun video planned, and today we are going to be talking about some of my favorite things that you can get at the dollar store that actually make really good reptile supplies. So we all know the dollar store does have like a pet section, but I'm talking about more things that you can actually transform into really cool reptile supplies, and it's on a budget. They're cheap. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first up, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? First up, we're going to be talking about fake plants. Now, fake plants, as we all know, are a really good way to add enrichment to any of your animal's cages. Basically, they're a new smell. I'm not saying that they smell like actual flowers, but they are a new smell that your animal can, a new smell your animals can enjoy. But also they add the ability for your animal to move through them. For certain animals, they add coverage. I know that for a lot of my crested geckos, and I'm going to put some clips of my crested gecko cages here, but I know that they love to hide within, oh my gosh, hold it, ones like, kind of like vines, which are awesome. I use these a lot for Houdini's cage, my Savannah monitor, and then a bunch of these, which are like bendable, which is amazing. You just peed everywhere. Okay, we had a small wardrobe change because Ollie decided to poop all over me, but we're good, we're back. So let's jump right back in. So what I was saying about plants. Yes, plants are very important, they add enrichment, all of that, but also they're super easy to get at the dollar store. So what I recommend doing is, if you're going to get plants from the dollar store, there's a couple things I look for. Don't get anything with glitter or beads or anything that can fall off and possibly cause your animal to either ingest it or, yeah, none of that. Then what you're gonna do once you found a good plant, so something like this, something simple, something with no kind of extras on it, what you're gonna do is bring it home, and I like to wash my plants in just a little bit of light dish soap and some hot water, completely make sure they're rinsed off, and then dry them, and they are good to go. So yeah, inexpensive plants can save you a ton of money. Next up is water bowls. Water bowls are one of the things that you can find so many different options for at a dollar store. So what I like to actually do is two different things. So for water bowls that I just want for some of my kind of medium-sized to smaller sneaks, you can actually use the dog bowls that they sell at the dollar store, and they're usually only a couple dollars. So the bowls that I use for pretty much all of my ball pythons, half of them have like cat bowls, which are like, I'll show you them, and then the other half are dog bowls. And those work great because they're heavy, they're generally pretty easy to clean because I think one type is ceramic and one type is stainless steel. So they're super easy to clean, they're inexpensive, they're all under $3 depending on what dollar store you go to. And yeah, bowls are awesome. The other option for bowls are actually plant bottoms. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to put a couple clips of the cages that I have that use them, but basically like they're like the bottom of a plant pot, and those are actually the perfect dishes for some of your more swimming type species. So for my Chinese box turtle Sheldon, I actually use a pretty large one, and he can actually soak himself without being able to flip over and drown. So those are really awesome as well. And the one last thing that I would recommend are the trays. So they have like small serving trays, and I actually use those for water bowls as well. I use one for my smaller box turtle Scarif, and then I also have one in one of my ball python's cages. She's like notorious for really bad sheds, no matter what. So I always give her like an obnoxiously sized water bowl so she can try to shed properly. So the dollar store is a great place to look for water bowls. To go along with water bowls for some of your larger animals, the dollar store also sells these little sauce cups. I'm gonna grab some. They're just little, I think they're usually meant for like, you know, sauce on the side of something for restaurants and things like that. But I use these to feed my crested geckos. They come in a pack of like 50 at the dollar store that I go to, and they do also come with lids, which is kind of helpful because once I run out of these, I use the lids for the crested gecko food as well if I want to do slightly smaller meals. So these are awesome. And what I usually do is I'll use them about 2 times. I will feed the animal. Once they're done, I take the bowl out, I clean it, and then I'm able to use it another time. You can reuse these a bunch of times. Pretty much when it starts to be that the food is like unable to come off, that's when I'll toss them out and get more. Okay, so next up is light bulbs. Now, you're probably wondering, what kind of light bulbs could I get at the dollar store that I could use for a reptile? Well, they actually do sell like spotlights or halogen type lights at the dollar store. So not just your normal like light bulb, like they sell light bulbs that can work for reptiles. I use these light bulbs for my box turtles mainly, and I use the 50-watt ones for them. But basically you can cut it in different wattages and use it for your reptiles. They're basically the same thing that you would get at a pet store, except they're cheaper. They're usually like $2. So yeah, definitely take a look. I know not all dollar stores have a lot of options for light bulbs, but some do, and they're so much cheaper. It saves me a ton of money. Of course, you still do need to get a UVB bulb, which you would have to get at a pet store, or I think I order mine on Amazon most of the time. UVB is essential for an animal like box turtles, but if you're looking just for a heat bulb to go along with your UVB, definitely check out the dollar store because sometimes they have some awesome halogen or spotlight type bulbs. Okay, so next up is hides, and I've actually got a number of different types of hides. Okay, we have a visitor. I've actually got a number of different hides from the dollar store. My favorite being this one that I got from the bird section of the dollar store. I think it's actually meant for outside birds, but basically it's a little bird treehouse type thing, and it's just made of like a wicker kind of wood material. It's got a little loop on the top that I can hang from the top of the cage if I want, and the crested gecko is able to go inside. I just prop it up using some cork bark, and it's awesome. It's meant for the outdoors because it's a birdhouse, so it doesn't have any problems with getting wet when I'm spraying them, and it works awesome. I believe this one was $3, and I actually do have another bird tower, bird toy in one of my other cages that I got off Amazon. So just to compare the two, the one I got at the dollar store was, I believe, $3, and the one I got on Amazon was, I believe, $18. Okay, so here is the tree house that I got off Amazon. This was a bird tree house. Let me see. So I can see I fixed it up there and down here, and basically this one was the $18 one, so it does look pretty cool. I like this one a lot. My crested gecko loves that. And down here in my garbo gecko cage, I have the bird one. So this is the one I got at Dollarama. This one was, like I said, between $3 and $4, and it is super cute. She's able to go in there. She likes to lay her eggs in there a lot. She's not bred, but she likes to lay infertile eggs in there a lot. She's always spending time in there. And like I said, it's meant for outdoors, at least this particular one. So it's able to withstand like the humidity and things. So, I mean, they're both really cute, but that's a good kind of representation of something you can get at the dollar store and you can get other places and kind of see the difference in what you pay for. The thing I'm going to be talking about today are the misters. And I actually have 2 different types of misters that I've got from the dollar store that I use on a daily basis. So this one here is a pressure sprayer. You can see right there. This one holds 1 liter of water, so I fill it up usually about twice a day in order to spray all of my animals. And of course I add my REPTILE, very important. But yeah, so these are at the dollar store. They're actually meant for like misting down plants or whatever. I think they're in the plant section. Just make sure that you get a mister that's never had any kind of chemicals or anything in it, and it's good to go. I always just recommend kind of rinsing it out, washing it before using it. But yeah, this is the one I actually use to mist down all my animals because I don't yet have a misting system, kind of on my bucket list, but I don't have one yet. So I use this. And then the other mister that I actually have from the dollar store is the one I've shown before. This is the one I use for disinfecting. So this one has my chlorhexidine, vinegar, and water solution. And this is in their little hair care section, and you can spray it down. Now, generally misters, if you go to a pet store like PetSmart, I've had a bunch of misters from PetSmart because I didn't know about this little hack. They're usually gonna run you about $20, and I actually find they're not as good of quality. I've had my little pressure sprayer from the local Dollarama for about 5 years, and it's going strong. All I have to do is occasionally just like clean out some of the buildup of water stain and whatever else in it. But other than that, I've never had any problems with this, and it works super well. Okay everyone, so those are my top things from the dollar store. I could literally go on and on about all the different things you can get at the dollar store that you can use for your reptiles. Of course, before you do anything and put anything in your reptile's cage, make sure you're giving it a thorough clean. Also, just make sure that there's no small pieces or anything that your animal could ingest. Just be smart, make sure that you're thinking about what you're doing before you're doing it, make sure there's no sharp edges, things like that. But for the most part, a lot of the things you can find at the dollar store are super helpful. I mean, I know when I used to go to the dollar store, I was like, oh, this is junk, but you get what you pay for kind of thing. But sometimes if you really look hard, you can actually find things that are going to save you money and are comparable to what you would get at a kind of big box store, but for a fraction of the price. And when you're someone like me who does have a fair amount of reptiles, anytime you can save a little bit of money, it's always helpful. And because one of my top questions that I always get asked is, how do I afford to have this many pets? And that's definitely one of my little secrets, I guess, is save money while you can while still providing your animal with as much enrichment and a quality life as humanly possible. So it's not necessarily about cutting corners, it's just about getting something that's comparable in quality for a lesser price. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and if you did, definitely subscribe and give it a like, comment down below, hit that notification bell, do all of the things. If you want to keep up with me and my animals on a more daily basis, you can definitely follow me on my Instagram, which I'm going to put on the screen for you. And yeah, check back because we're going to be doing more videos. And I hope you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, staying home, and we will see you next time. Say bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.